Many people have been asking for an update, but I just wanted to move on from this whole transaction and get back to living life after fighting for over a month. But, unfortunately I had to do this again. I figured once the Black Lotus thing went public that, though the tension might have at least outed a bad actor, it would also bring to light the ease of this scam. And as the internet kind of does, it enacts some weird, awkward justice. You're seeing a screenshot from an eBay case I received today. I sold a Mishra's workshop to this user, and he's had it for like a week or so, and now he wants to return it as he deems it inauthentic. So this is going to happen again. Though honestly, ever since the Black Lotus thing went down, the scams and attempts, they have gone up considerably. Having to refund orders for missing shipments, that has gone up exponentially. And also, you're seeing the aftermath of another scam of a user buying another Mishra's ... Sigh. So yeah, I took down my power and my higher priced cards like the Tabernacles and my Bazaar of Baghdad. I traded in those Legends and Arabian cards to Car Kingdom, and they just processed the sell order. I needed the money, and who doesn't during this whole coronavirus thing? I think the price is fair considering it's at least money instead of losing money. I guess that's some type of improvement. So what about the power? Well, I took them all down with my beta time vault and sent them all to Beckett. Unfortunately, again, due to the coronavirus thing, they haven't been able to finish the entire order, but here are the results for the ones I received back. I knew they were never like great condition cards to get graded, but I really wanted a way to eventually sell them, and like everyone says and how I think, having them graded could at least help me in that respect. I just don't know what the hell to do now to get money for them. And life has been really interesting lately. But I did want to really thank everyone that kept on buying my EDH cards on eBay as they helped me stay afloat, especially during these times. And I'm trying to think of ways to safely sell the power, and I think maybe PWCC or some type of consignment is the best way of doing this. I think I will have to trade in the rest of my decently priced cards just so I know I can get something for them instead of being scammed on eBay or something like that. If you're wondering about the Black Lotus situation, well, as I said already, there was no recourse, really, especially with eBay. And eBay sent my PayPal in the negative by some $8,000. That was an ordeal, and that was amazing to deal with, yeah. It took a few weeks of moving money around and selling cards on eBay to finally get to the point I wasn't being sent into collections by PayPal. From the legal standpoint, wouldn't make sense for me to take this as small claims, as I couldn't really afford going back and forth across the country, flying, and nor would I be able to guarantee compensation if I was to win the case. It's basically impossible to collect, especially if the person doesn't have a job to garnish. But they are attempting, even me attempting to garnish wages, through a court judgment, that would still require me to appear in Washington. So what other legal avenues, if you're in my position, could you take? Of course would be, and like everyone knows, you would want to contact the police department. And I did. I contacted the police department in Auburn, Washington, and they told me they couldn't help me, nor could they finalize a report with them. They told me I needed to file a report with my own police department, and I did that. Surprisingly, I got word back from them that they were actually investigating the case. I was like, holy crap, I'm surprised. But of course, I'm not holding out any hope for any positive conclusion. Here's a screenshot of some recent communication where I was needing to clarify the case and provide him, the detective, with some pictures of the stolen property. Other avenues of reporting the fraud were with the U.S. Postal Inspectors, because it's mail fraud. And they accepted the report, and here's a screenshot of that. Of course, again, I'm not really hoping for anything to happen there or thinking anything would happen, but I'm thankful. At least they have something in their records for this. Another avenue to pursue is with the Attorney General's office, because maybe they could see a pattern, or at least record a pattern of behavior, and maybe one day pursue legal action on the state's behalf. So I tried Washington State's Attorney General's first, and here a response from them saying I should contact my state's AG. Okay, sure, I'll do that. So I contacted them in Tallahassee, which I'm in Florida, and all they can do is really contact eBay on my behalf. They can't act as my attorney and pursue a case against an individual right now. Here's a screenshot of them informing me of eBay's reply, and this is not shocking, that they just replied with a fax copy of their money-back guarantee, and here's a screenshot of the beginning part of the fax. The final place to reach out to for help is the FBI through their IC3 portal, which handles frauds of any sort, really. I filled out a report last month, and here's the first page of that. I haven't heard from them, and I likely won't. The FBI doesn't actually pursue the case necessarily. They work as like a centralized entity to distribute cases to jurisdictions responsible, but there's no guarantee they'll actually do anything about it because they receive like 1,000 cases a day easily. Oh yeah, I remember to touch base about eBay again. I was actually given a call by eBay's CEO's office. So I got a call from the 866 eBay customer service number, and of course I've been calling it so much I kind of knew that was them. And the woman was really nice who called me, and out of everyone I spoke to from eBay and law enforcement, she was the only one to review my evidence. I could tell because I had unlisted videos on YouTube that I sent her links to, and they actually got one view apiece. Nice. Regardless, she couldn't help me and reiterated they must follow their eBay money-back guarantee policy, and she said the representatives in my case did that, and they acted correctly. But she was nice enough to give me back my final value fee, and she paid for the shipping costs I paid for sending the card to the Black Lotus buyer. And here's a picture of that email. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but to make an appeal against someone returning an item to you, you actually firstly have to lose the case. To lose a case, you must not return their money initially. If you make eBay take the money from your account, then you can make an appeal. So I had to wait for them to take it from me, and when they do, you can call them to file that appeal. Here's a situation on that though. If you make an appeal and lose, you lose your final value fee as well. For me, the $700 being lost in conjunction with the card was, of course, devastating. I really didn't know what to do though. I knew I was in the right, and I sent him a real card. And I want to make sure I exhaust every avenue at my disposal to, make this whole, which included appealing to eBay. I knew that I wasn't going to win, though. We all know that. Even speaking to eBay customer service representatives, they told me, I guarantee you will lose the appeal. Don't appeal. And this is from a guy that worked at High Value Claims and said their policy is to always give the money back to the buyer. So if you guys want to know how foolproof it is to take people's eBay items, I think this is evidence of that. And it's not just magic cards. It's really anything. If you want to scam people out of a Louis Vuitton handbag, it's very possible. All eBay cares about is satisfying the buyer. So if you send back a fake Louis Vuitton bag after receiving a real one, there's literally nothing to stop you from doing that. From eBay to law enforcement, you're screwed. Well, I appreciate people who remain interested, and the best thing that I can do is make people aware of the situation, and maybe with enough people paying attention one day that eBay can do something about this. Thanks.